Hi Stampers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Nancy Novak. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here every day, Monday through Friday at noon, to share a Stampin' Up! Product, something new every week, and then I create 5 cards or 5 projects, and then I share them with you. My videos are very short. I fast forward through all the boring stuff and just show you all of the interesting stuff that you need to know to create your own card. And this week I am working with the Merriest Trees bundle, which includes the stamp set and the dies. And the dies, there are so many different dies, and we're going to try to touch on all of them this week. There's 5 different sizes for the trees. There's decorative items, there's ornaments, there's stars, there's sparkling stars, there's a tag, there's a base for your tree, there's presents, there's bows. So there's a lot to this die set. And today we're going to make kind of an easy card. And here it is. Very traditional, kind of elegant, and I think you're going to like it. So let me bring in the supplies really quick. So we have a base of real red that is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. I have 2 pieces for the inside of white. I have a piece of white for the outside, a couple of pieces, and these are both embossed with the star, what is this one called? The Snowflake Day embossing folder. Very, very pretty, and I know it's really hard to see on camera, but it's one of my new favorites. And then we have a little matte piece of real red. And I will have all of the sizes, the measurements, the supplies I used, shopping links on my blog, which is stampandshout.blogspot.com, so you don't have to worry about that. If you scroll down, you'll see the words project sheet. That's another way you can find where the information is. You just click that link and it'll take you right to my blog. And make sure you visit my blog, because you're going to see an enlarged picture of the cards and today's card, everything that I do, and it gives you a lot more detail and you can really see it better. So make sure you check that out. We also have a little scrap I forgot to mention for our sentiment, and a scrap for stamping our trees. We're going to stamp our trees in garden green. But before I stamp them, I'm actually going to cut them out, because all we're going to use is the detailed die, and it's really easy to stamp with. So rather than try to figure out how much paper I need and where I should stamp in order to fit my die on there, we're going to cut it out first, and then we're going to stamp. So I'm using this die right here, which has 3 tiers of the tree, and I'm going to cut out 3 trees. So I will be right back. Okay, so I cut out 3 white trees, and we're going to stamp on them using garden green. So I'm going to bring a scrap in to stamp on. And I'm going to lay my trees down, and I'm using the detailed stamp in garden green ink, and I'm just going to stamp on all 3 of these white trees. So now it looks like we have 3 green trees full of snow, just by doing that little bit of stamping with that detailed stamp in garden green ink. Since we have the ink out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment on this little strip, and we'll finish everything about that later. But I'm going to stamp Love and Joy, and I'm going to stamp it in garden green. And this is just a 1/2 inch piece of white. And we'll finish that up when we get to that part of our card. So I'm going to go ahead and glue a couple of these pieces together. So on the front, I'm going to glue the small strip of white to the matte piece of red, and I'm going to go ahead and glue the larger piece of white to the card base. Okay, we're going to add our trees, but before I do that, before I go on, I want to mention something before I forget. I only tell you guys the really, really important stuff, and this is really a great promo that Stampin' Up! Is starting, and it's starting today, and it's all through the end of October, and it's called the Starter Kit Special. And Stampin' Up! Has been around for 35 years, so they're doing a 35-year anniversary special. And it's one of the best deals that I have ever seen, being since I've become a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So basically, a starter kit generally costs $99, and with that, you get to choose $125 worth of product. Well, during this special, you can get 35% off. So instead of paying $99, you pay $64.35. and you still get $125 worth of product that you get to pick out. The other option is you get 35% more. That means you spend $99, but you get $168.75 worth of product, again, that you go through the catalogs and you pick out. So it's really a really great deal for a starter kit. So if you're new and you'd like to get a bunch of supplies to start stamping with, or you're a seasoned stamper and you have a nice long list, this deal is great. I do have all the information on my blog, or you can contact me. And I really suggest that if you're going to sign up, you contact me first and we talk on the phone, and I can give you all the pointers and let you know exactly what the deal is. But I'm going to be mentioning this throughout the month of October because I don't want you to forget about it, and it really is a great deal. Like I said, it's one of the best I've ever seen, and everyone's jumping on this bandwagon right now to get this special, so didn't want you to miss out. So let's keep going with our card. So we have this little piece here, and we have our 3 trees. And I am going to go ahead and pop up the trees with dimensionals. I'm going to lay the 2 outside trees down first, and then I'll lay the middle tree down. Just like that, so the middle tree kind of overlaps the other 2 trees. Now I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this and pop it up on the front of our card. Okay, now I'm going to bring in our sentiment. I'm going to pop it up. I'm going to trim it down to the size that I like, and I'm going to pop it up right in the center at the top of our card with dimensionals. And I just noticed that I forgot to add a bow to my center here before I popped it up. So luckily I can still add my bow. I just kind of lifted up my dimensionals before they got too stuck in place, and now I'm going to go ahead and tie a bow. Okay, finally got that bow tied, and just so you know, just a little tip here, if your bow is kind of slipping around and you don't like where it's landing and you don't like the way it's leaning, just put a little glue dot under there to help it stay in position. So we're going to finish the inside of our card, and then we're going to come back and put a little bit of bling on the front of our card. So I'm going to bring this scrap in one more time, and I'm going to bring in the Christmas tree stamp. So the stamp set has a solid Christmas tree and a detailed Christmas tree. So we're going to stamp the solid Christmas tree in garden green, but we're going to stamp off. So I'll bring this in my garden green. And I'm just going to ink up about the top 3 tiers of this Christmas tree. And I'm going to stamp off. And then I'm going to stamp in the bottom right-hand corner. I'm going to stamp off one more time. Okay, so now I just have a very light Christmas tree there. Now I'm going to bring in the detailed stamp and do the same thing, but I'm not going to stamp off. So I'm just going to ink up the top 3 layers of that tree. And that's how it turns out. Very pretty. So that's a great way to get a good looking tree, is to stamp off on the first one and then do the full ink on the second part. And now for the sentiment, we're going to stamp that in again in the garden green. And that is just the prettiest little sentiment with the prettiest font. I just love Stampin' Up's stamps with their sentiments and the beautiful fonts that they have. So we're going to stamp these, or we're going to glue these 2 white pieces together, and then we're going to glue those to the inside of our card. I like the way it looks with 2 layers of white on the inside. And then for the front, we're going to bring in some rhinestones and add some bling. And there is today's card. So I hope you liked it. Kind of simple, but very pretty, very Christmassy. I love the colors, of course. I'm very traditional when it comes to Christmas cards. And then the inside is just as pretty. So don't forget, all the information will be on my blog. If you missed yesterday's card, there'll be a link popping up here. You can watch yesterday's card, or any of my videos. You can always watch the replay. And I will see you tomorrow at noon. Please share, comment, and like, and I will see you tomorrow. Don't be shy. Stamp and shout.